is roughly 7 kilometers or 4.352 miles long and contains a total of 92 turns. This is roughly half the length of the original circuit.
All right, welcome everyone. We are live. It's Zenith Online Racing, back for Season 10. The rosters are set, the tiers are organized. We are running an exhibition race tonight. We will be racing Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tonight, just an exhibition trial run. Get everybody up to speed. And make sure the game is nice and stable for us while we look at kicking off Season 10 here. So, just about ready to get things going. We got a few cars just exiting the pits now. Spider-Man, Lunar, Sam heading out. Let's get some info up on the screen for you. There we go. All right. Flying solo tonight, GP. Not available, but he will be with me Monday nights as usual. The best commentary team in virtual racing. And I look forward to getting back into the swing of things. So I've done a few preseason streams, haven't really tried, I'm not going to lie. I've been kind of just here. But I'm going to try and shake the rest off tonight and give you guys a good call and a solid broadcast here. So strap in, enjoy, and let's get Season 10 rolling. And a few familiar faces back on the grid. RC's back, Adri back. A few guys kind of punted the last game. Not gonna lie, it was kind of dog shit. But yeah, now we got a few old members returning, and obviously some of the familiar faces from last season as well. So it's a bit of a mixed bag tonight. We got a hybrid of Tier 1 and Tier 2 guys here. So all right, who we got on a flyer? Sam just starting a lap in that Ferrari. Let's see how he's doing. Pressing over the hill right now. I believe Spider-Man fan is, let's see the map up there. Spider-Man fan also on a flyer, but I thought he might be the car up the road there. Oh, bit of a rear lock there from Sam. So that's something that happens a lot more in this game, is the rear locking. The spinning, not as big of a problem, but the rear locking, definitely, if you're hammering on those brakes, it can definitely be an issue. So something you gotta watch. Probably better off with like a lift and coast or trail braking in this game. Use those downshifts to try and slow your car a bit as well. Sam making his way through Sector 2. I forgot all the corner names. It's been such a long time since we raced here. I do remember Blanchiment. And of course the old bus stop. Say with a 42-1 to get things rolling here. Let's see what Sam can do. Really smooth through the bus stop, getting on that power nicely. Looks like a solid lap from Sam, but not enough to get to the top. Say well ahead of everybody else right now. Rex drops a 43 flat, so 9/10 off Say. Say going to be a problem this year, I think. Based on what I've seen so far, looks like he might be a problem. Carson has joined. Carson was already here. He must have dropped. It's just hair, buddy. That's your hair. Cat's looking at a fluff ball on the couch, wondering what it is. I'm on board with Adries in the Haas. So it looks like most of the guys kind of jumped in the cars that they picked for this season, but obviously we're not really running official tiers tonight, so probably a little bit of a mix-up, but I do believe Adri in the Haas for the upcoming season. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this might be his first run on the game. And I think he just bought the game today to try and get in for the season, so looking pretty sharp off the hop here. Imagine he's just getting a feel for the handling. It's definitely a lot better this year, so something I think that will help keep attendance up higher and keep more people invested in the league. It's a lot less frustrating this year, so. Asylum into the 42s is the closest one to say, but still about 7/10 off right now, so it's going to be some tough sledding for the guys at the front trying to catch say right now. Carson really struggling with the connection at the moment. Doesn't seem to be able to stay in the lobby, so. I wonder if his car has crashed somewhere. It looks like he's out. Let's see if I can get him an invite just to. Maybe he's just getting a bad connection or something like that. Not sure. There he is. See if that helps. Probably not, but there was a problem last year. We always seemed to have somebody with a connection issue. It would always struggle to stay in the lobby and stuff, so I'm not sure what the deal is here. Combinator out of fuel, RC heading into the pits. We got anybody on a flyer? Jinnit out there on the mediums, pumping in laps. Let's get on board with Jinnit. We'll ride with him for a moment. Just gonna get my stream up here. There we go. We got 5 people watching, not bad. Leave some comments in the chat. I'll try to get to them when I get a moment. Jinnit finally pits, so nobody out there at the moment. Toblerone heading into the pits as well. LaRodri on the lap. Let's see how he does. No time at the moment. I don't think we have time trials from LaRodri yet, so we're looking for maybe a good idea to get a representation of his pace here, and maybe we can just throw him into whatever tier makes sense. Just looking a little tentative on the wheels, so see how that translates into the lap time by the end of the lap. Notice I got the miles per hour telemetry up as well. I'll have to fix that. That's competitive. It's right in the mix, so LaRodri just off of Sam. Ahead of Hoop, so he probably could tuck in the back end of Tier 1. Spider-Man's actually got a pretty good lap time there. That's the thing, eh? Like, some of these guys I put into Tier 1 are actually behind some of the Tier 2 guys right now, so I feel like we're probably having good balance between both tiers. It's not going to be, like, drastically different. See what Sam can do. He's back out there. We'll get on board with Rex. We haven't watched him yet. See how he does. I'm gonna fix that telemetry as well. On screen. Yes. Kilometers, Fahrenheit. Culminator's been disqualified. I'm not sure what happened to Carson. I wonder if he maybe stepped out because he was having such problems with his connection there. But Culminator is out of quali, so he will go to the back of the grid. Rex just finishing up his lap right now. 10 people tuned in. I am honestly a little stunned. I don't think we've had 10 people tuned in for like years, and let alone for an exhibition race. So, welcome. Obviously, I'm going to guess about 8 or 9 of those people are league members. I doubt there's any strangers in there, so. But nonetheless, it's good to see people tuning in. And yeah, looking to shake off the rust, get things rolling. I'm getting fired up, ready for Tier 1 kickoff. Either this Monday or the following Monday, we will kick things off. It really is dependent on the behavior of the game in this race tonight. If we're able to get everybody wheel-to-wheel battling and a lot of action on track and there's no connection issues, then I think we'll give it the green light and we'll get things going. Oh, excuse me. Drinking a White Claw and they're very fizzy, so just excuse me if I burp a few times. If you like ASMR, it's a good stream for you to tune into. Some burping action on the mic. So Rex has brought a better lap time towards Say now. He's closed the gap a bit, but Say still well ahead. See if anybody else can get there. Jinnit has retired. Not sure if he meant to do that. Maybe did it in the pits. I think Jinnit probably wants to start at the back and just kind of have fun tonight. Obviously, it doesn't count, so he maybe just wants to see how things are going for him and just do another... Whoa, big rear lock there from Sam. I think he was planning to finish that lap, but then changed his mind. He's got just enough time to get back out there. Imagine guys on a flyer now probably don't have time to go back out, so this is going to have to count for Adri. He's up on his previous lap. P5 currently, just ahead of RC, so RC and Adri getting back in the swing of things, good to see. Ah, you came to listen to my sexy voice. Beautiful. Always love to hear that. Wario, hello. But yeah, looking forward to a new season. So far, everything looks good. I mean, even the Euro guys look stable right now. Let's see how they look in the race session. I know that may be a little bit more of a problem with the cars all so close together, but if that is working fine, then we're pretty much ready to get things rolling. It's just going to be a matter of me getting the calendar together, and I suppose we could always just pick the first race and finish the calendar after, but yeah, obviously I'd rather have the whole thing planned out before we get things rolling here. I'll have to get that survey together. There's a lot of guys use... Oh, Adri with a big smash up there. I think he locked the rears and ripped the front nose off, and he reset the track, I believe. So, obviously, I'm going to have to remind everybody about resetting the track. That definitely is not allowed. Obviously, we're not going to do anything in an exhibition race, but moving forward, you can't be doing that. Yeah, it looked like the rear locking is catching some guys out here. You know, can't really get away with just stomping on the brakes late anymore. And he's retired on track. He's forgot all the rules. Scored. Wrapping up a lap now. He's got into the pit, so I don't know. Like thinks he's going to get another lap, and I guess he has just enough time. That's going to be tight, though. That's going to be really tight. He was up, it looks like, as well. Nah, there's no way he's getting back out. He'd have to be leaving the pits now, I think. So we got a few guys on out laps. Let's see where they're at. Looks like Say might be the front of the pack. RC, Spider-Man fan. There goes Say. I think that's Say that just went through. So Say probably the one in front. LaRodri maybe. Yeah, it was LaRodri. So LaRodri is going to be our first final lap, if that makes sense. But we'll ride on board with LaRodri. Then we will pick up Say and Spider-Man fan after that. Oh, not a good start. Not a good start. He must have been looking at something. Okay. LaRodri. Not his most graceful moment, I'm sure. Probably wishes I wasn't watching him. Anyway, here comes Say. I think Sam actually might be on his final run here. Let's check with Sam, and we'll go back to Say, and then Spider-Man fan, and then we'll try to pick somebody up at the end. Oh, big lock there, but he saves it. It's probably going to cost him a little bit of time, but definitely improves. 42.9. It's up to P4 for Sam. Checking this, this Say next. Say marginally up on his previous run. We're 4/10 up. Say absolutely flying right now. That's going to be tough to beat. As long as he doesn't botch it at the end here. Yeah, 4/10 improvement, so that's going to be really, really tough. We'll check in with Spider-Man fan. Just about to wrap up his lap, and then I think we got maybe... I'm not sure who that is. The blue car. Not Rex. Might be RC. It is RC. Lunar is invalidated. What do we got ran out the back there? It's Asylum. I'm trying to figure out who's in front of him there. Another AlphaTauri it looks like, so that would be Hoop, perhaps? It is Hoop. So it's Hoop and Asylum, just about to wrap up their laps. And here comes Hoop. And that's it for quali. I was going to say, though, a lot of people run in number 3. Like, everybody's like, oh, I can finally use number 3. And then, of course, Ricardo's already back. So, Say demolishing. We may have to get him to turn ABS on, slow him down a bit, because this is not competitive. Rex takes P2, Asylum 3rd, Sam's 4th, Gord is 5th, Adri 6th, RC 7th. Not a bad result for those two. Just jumping back into the game. Solid qualifying for those guys. Hoop, Spider-Man, Toblerone round out your top 10. Laradri, Jetju, Jinnit, P13, and then you got Lunar, Carson, and Quaminator rounding out the back of the field. So, get things rolling here. I always forget to tell people not to ready up right away. I think we're okay. It doesn't look like anybody spammed it right away, so probably just enough time now if someone were to do it. Really looking forward to a race here, though. If this is stable and it looks good, I'm ready to get things fired up. And it looks like everybody's a lot more invested in this game already than last year. So if they can just kind of iron out those last few kinks and give us some quality on track battles, then we're gonna have a good year. All right, let's get it going. That's about the only thing that's going to slow you down today, say. Your controller drift apparently is a bit of an issue he's having. Save telemetry. I don't think we really need the telemetry, do we? Just leave that off for now. Lap data too. Kind of useless. Alright, so go through this strategy here. We got top 3 on medium. Sam's gone with the soft. Looking for a good haul down the Kemmel Street to start. See if he can get himself into the top 2 spots, maybe. And then we got Gord, Adri, RC, Hoop, all on medium. Spider-Man and Toblerone just outside, or just inside the points, starting on hard tires, which I think is a pretty good strategy. Could pay off. Laradri's gone soft. Jetju, Jinnit, mediums. Lunar's gone hard. I think around the back, the hard's not a bad option. Especially like Spider-Man and Toblerone on the hards. If they can just kind of hang on to the front guys and on the hard tires, they're going to be in good shape later on. And then we, of course, have Carson, Quaminator, and Vinny has joined the grid. So those guys round out the field. Medium, soft, and medium for those 3. All right. Oh man, ready for some racing. Hopefully everything's nice and stable. I'm amped up. I really don't want to get bummed out by the game not working. So, cross your fingers. Pray for me. Pray for the league. Pray for the state of F1 23. Everybody getting those last few moments and trying to get those tires fired up. Looks like a beautiful day here in Spa, mostly because we chose beautiful weather for Spa. But yeah, it's not going to rain. We just went with the dry weather to give everybody a good, nice, clean run here. So looks like the final few cars rounding the last corner. Vinny Sips about to take his grid slot, and we are about ready to go racing here in Season 10. We're going to get things kicked off. Say's on pole, Rex is second, Asylum is third. Let's fire those lights up. Five lights are on. And we are racing. Season 10 underway. The first exhibition race. Hopefully the last. And we are rolling. Everybody. Oh, get a contact there into turn one. It looks like Gord got tagged by one of the Alpines, maybe RC. But someone tagged him. We got a few cars. Oh, no! Big mess there. And we have a huge crash. This surely will be a red flag. Virtual safety car. Okay. That's fine, too. So who's out? We got Lunar, Quaminator, and Vinny. Quaminator and Vinny are disqualified. What happened there? Oh, it's a full safety car now. Somebody broke on the hill coming down towards Eau Rouge there, and basically just caused a chain reaction. That was an absolute shit show, to say the least. It looks like Quaminator and Vinny got disqualified from the entire race because they missed their grid box, which I think is... I think... turn off formation lap. I'm thinking we still use formation lap, but we can turn off the immersive part of it, where you don't have to park the car yourself, because that's ridiculous. It used to disqualify you from just the formation lap, not the entire race. So I'm not sure what that's about. Anyways, this is why we do the exhibition races. We want to make sure that this stuff's all ironed out before. Vinny, Quaminator, if you guys could get me video of that, of the disqualification there, I'd like to see exactly what happened, just so we know why we're not using it. That, to me, it's absolutely absurd. That should not be happening. So a bunch of guys have pit. Obviously, some strategically, some necessary. But we'll get things rolling again here. Not off to a great start. That was just clumsy, really. I mean, there was contact into turn one, into La Source, and then on the exit towards the run down to Eau Rouge, someone lifted and a bunch of cars slammed into each other. It just was an absolute disaster. It was ugly, to say the least. So, safety car will help iron that out. We'll get everybody back on even terms and get back to some clean racing here. Hopefully it'll be a little cleaner with a single file restart rather than a big jumbled mess like that. But yeah, something to look forward or look into. We'll see about those. See about these the disqualifications there. That was weird. I saw Quaminator reverse on starting grid, disqualified from session. And I was thinking, okay, well, yeah, he's disqualified from the formation lap, surely, not the entire race. I mean, that's ridiculous. So what I'm thinking is we should do, I don't know how it'll work, but we'll have to do formation lap. I think we should have formation lap just in case somebody readies early. Then we still have a minute or two to kind of get yourself sorted, but and as far as, yeah. So if we have the formation lap as a, maybe just on rather than immersive, because I think there's broadcast on and immersive, and the immersive is where you have to park the car. So if we take the immersive off, you can still do the formation lap, and then the game takes over and parks the car for you. That would be fine. It's kind of how it used to be. The weird thing was last game, people could miss their grid box, and they wouldn't get disqualified. They would be able to keep racing. It would just fix them, and everything would be fine. So I don't really get the point of that, but it's something we'll figure out. Carson has pit again for hard tires. Again, not a bad strategy at this point. Get the hards to the end of the race from here, surely. Guys up front, hopefully you're hoping the field spread will give them an advantage. There's Kimmy. Everybody else warming their tires. RC just driving straight. It's one of the funniest clips from F1. You know, all the cars like weaving aggressively and Kimmy just driving in a straight line. It's an all-time classic. Alright, well, we got about half a lap here, so I'm going to go grab myself another beverage. And we'll get things rolling again. I do kind of have to pee, but I can probably do that later if it gets a little boring. I feel bad for those guys that are out. Looking forward to a good race here and robbed of it before they even get a chance. Our safety car coming in. I believe so, yes. We were racing again. There we go. Alright, hopefully this goes a little smoother. 18 laps to go. And everybody's lying astern now. Nobody, no clumsy collisions through turn one, but now we got a proper race going. Let's go. Should be good. Everybody looks nice and stable too. I will say it looks a lot more stable than it has in the previous tests we've done. That's really good to see. And it looks like Rex giving Say a run for his money on the Kemmel Straight here. This could be a swap for first place. Let's go side by side. Rex and Say trying to hang on. Rex has got him though. He's got a better line. Now Say back on the inside. They're still wheel to wheel. And Asylum in there having a sniff as well. Rex does get ahead. Good move from Rex. Oh, and there's a... Did he get spun? Rex was... I don't know if he got nosed into the wall there. I don't think he lost it on his own. Say may have run into the back of him there, but that is disaster for Rex. Just nosed into the barrier there, and not in a position to get himself turned around easily either, so that's really unfortunate for him. Asylum has snuck into the lead on that move. Say, I think he did run into Rex and then it lifted, obviously, so Asylum was able to sneak through. Gordon Toblerone putting some serious pressure on Private Jetju here. We've got a few cars really scrapping here for fourth place. And a few quick guys stuck behind Jetju. They're going to be looking to try and get ahead and get to that podium place. Gord and Adri wheel to wheel. Adri sends it down the inside. Late on the brakes, though, and he does lock. You can see those rear wheel lock. And Adri has a bit of a moment trying to get the power down as well. So just some, I think as the weeks go on, people will start to figure that stuff out. We do see some, it's just kind of clumsy driving at the moment. Nothing, nobody doing anything silly or dumb. It's just a lack of familiarity with the game, I think, so far. But I have to say, I do think the cars look really stable tonight. Like, it does look really solid, and I think moving forward, I think we're going to be able to kick things off. I don't see any issues with the lobby at the moment right now. That's really good to see. Very reassuring. Say's had a moment. He's gone off, and he's dropped down to P5 here, so it's a wide open race now. Say's got work to do to get back in front. We know he's quick enough to get there, but if the consistency, it might be an issue, and it could give someone else an opportunity to run away out front. A lot of good battles. It's hard to decide who to watch here, but I think we'll keep an eye on Adri, Hoop, and Spider-Man trying to get by Say. We also got Carson putting some pressure on RC, and then we got Toblerone and Gord fighting Jetju for P2 currently. We'll have to keep an eye on that. There it is. Gord and Toblerone. Toblerone just kind of hanging on, but Gord is all over the back of Jetju here. Gord very quick in the preseason testing, so I think he's got a really good shot at getting by. Perhaps challenging Asylum, but Asylum has a healthy lead at the moment. And DRS enabled now, so it's a good opportunity for Gord to get by, and here we go. We got a little bit of a train forming behind Jetju here. This is helping Asylum massively. And Gord just tucks in. Smart move there. You don't want to be side by side through that corner. Everybody getting through cleanly. It looks like we had a yellow flag. It looks like that was turn 1. And Gord goes sailing by. Here comes Toblerone. And Say having a look as well. Say trying to sneak around, but no room there. Toblerone closes the door. Nice defending from Toblerone. Oh, and a huge snap for Toblerone. He's out. That is him out of the race. That will be another safety car. So this changes a lot. Everybody on mediums now can pit and easily get to the end. The guys on hards that pit already, obviously, I think have to stay out. I think they should stay out and try to go to the end. Just try to use that traffic as a bit of a defense mechanism to keep them out front. It's going to be interesting to see what everybody does here, though. Well, I'll use this opportunity to grab myself a drink. I never ended up getting one during the last safety car. I got distracted talking. So my cat gets a treat, I get a drink. I'm going to run to the washroom quickly as well, and then we'll be right back. So keep an eye on the... Asylum's got enough of a gap here that he's going to save a lot of time if he does pit. I think he should go for it. I mean, he's got himself 4.5 seconds, and say it's 12 to pit with a safety car. He could end up still ahead of half the field and have a pit stop done. So not a bad idea for Asylum. Other guys, though, I could see staying out. Asylum does stay out. Interesting. Say does pit. Smart move from Say. I definitely agree with that decision. He's already lost some space. already lost some ground. Adri, I definitely understand staying out, and anyone who's pit to hard's already definitely stay out for sure. I think Jinnit has gone to soft tires. I'm not sure why he did that. Maybe expecting a safety car or a red flag. So those guys in the pit, Spider-Man, Sam, Jinnit has pit as well. Maybe Jinnit just put the wrong tires on. Either way, you know what? Maybe just put them on just to get the mandatory stop out of the way. I don't know. Either way, guys out front that stayed on mediums. Not really sure if that was a good choice. We'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Oops. Ah, it's nice and frosty. Bad boy's been sitting in the freezer for about an hour and a half, so. Oh, yeah. Get in me. The drink, I mean. Get your mind out of the gutter. Hello, F1 Liga and JD Box. I don't know if I want to block you. You're probably better off just spamming my comment section to make our video look a lot more popular, so have at her. I am very capable of ignoring you, so don't waste your time here if you're looking for attention. Yeah, F1 Liga PC, how you doing, my friend? Appreciate you joining. It's our second safety car of the race. This is a reduced safety car. Unfortunately, the drivers off to a clumsy start, so reduced safety car hasn't really been obvious. Strategy, though, very interesting. I like Say's move. I think he's in the best spot right now. Spider-Man, Rex, Jinnit also looking pretty, but a little further down the field. Guys out front to stay on mediums. I don't like it. I think Jet Jew, Gord, one of those guys should have gone in. And yes, you'll lose the track position. You'll be stuck behind some other drivers, but we are on lap 8 already. I'm not sure how much. Not too sure how much time they're gonna have to try and build that gap back up. It's a long lap, and the pit stop's pretty slow. Okay, we've had a jump there. It's the first thing I've seen. That's the first connection issue I've seen. So I don't believe Toblerone, there was any contact with him going out. Looked like he just lost the car on his own. Maybe he just stomped on the power a little too hard because the whole back end just stepped out on him and he was right into the wall. But I think there may have been contact between Say and Rex. But Rex still in the race. Rex actually kind of bailed out by that. He was not in a good spot, but he's got a pit stop. He's got a fresh wing now, so he's okay, and he's in a pretty good spot. Him and Jinnit should be. I think Jinnit's just kind of out here to have fun, screw around tonight. He's put softs on again. Not taking it too seriously, which is totally understandable and fair. And it was nice having a break, though. I've had, geez, when did we finish that last season? Mid-May? Now we're, late July, so about 2.5 months off. It's a pretty nice vacation. Doing a lot of work, trying to get everything organized, get things rolling for the season, and we're finally on the cusp. And once I get the season all set up and ready to go, all the work off the table and just kind of let things take care of themselves. And that's the nice part of the season. I can just sit down and stream a race and have fun broadcasting it. That's where it gets really enjoyable. So almost through the quote-unquote hard work, but we're ready to rock here. So Asylum leading the field. He's going to decide when we go. Does look like he's getting on it now. Not really fooling anybody there, but enough of a jump. Him and Gord got away from Jetu nicely. Check in with some of these closer battles. Say on Carson and Hoop, very close to the back of them. Looks like Rex got through on Spider-Man. Say coming up the hill through Radion. Right on the tail of Carson. Is it going to be enough without the DRS to get through? He looks quick, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do it without DRS. Oh, late move there from Carson. Carson moved over late to try and sneak by Hoop, and he does, and that closed the door on Seye. I don't know if he was trying to block Seye or if he was just trying to make the move in front. Either way, Seye nearly ran into the back of him and gets stuck behind Hoop. But Carson through Seye. Carson has pit as well. I think his stop is done. So Carson in a good spot now if he can get away from Seye, who's on the freshest tires that does not need to pit again. Gord also putting some pressure on Asylum. Jinnit now picked up a penalty. So Jinnit must be turning it up. Yeah, he's got by Rex and RC in a matter of corners here, but also has a time penalty. And look at this, Adri all over Private here, going for a podium place. Tough place to go side by side. And you see Jetu way off the road, doing some landscaping. Way off the road. He's lucky to be going still. That was dicey. Carson and Larodri having a little battle. Seye trying to sneak through. Seye is having some kind of issue right now with his controller for sure. He's trying to keep the car straight. Carson all over Jetu here. Really closing that gap up. And Asylum doing a good job out front. Just about to drop Gord. Adri on it though. Gee, Adri has pit already? Yes? Let's check the stops. We need to know this. He has. Adri has stopped. He's in a great spot. He can catch up to those guys, and I mean, they have to pit. He doesn't have to. If he can build a gap, he could easily win this thing. Well, that would be a return to form. I think Jinnit's just decided he's turning up the wick. He's just going to pass everybody in any way he can. Terrible place to be beside another car from Jinnit. Jinnit does look pretty controlled for what it's worth, though. He's being a bit of a maniac right now. I think that's why he's picked up so many penalties. He's just trying to make moves wherever he can make them, whether it's on the track or not. Oh, big spin! Huge spin there for Carson, and Jinnit's out. Jinnit was trying to save the car and went way off. I think he was avoiding the collision, but it ghosted. He would have been okay, and he's out of the race now. Jetu and Larodri having a little battle side by side. Say still stuck behind them. DRS is enabled, and there goes Say again. Say, I do believe, is having a problem with his controller at the moment. I think that is causing a lot of issues that we're seeing. Generally, he wouldn't have this many problems. And Larodri, not a great exit for Larodri. He's going to be under serious pressure here. Rex and Jetu all the way. Oh, what a great shot that was. Rex all over the back of Larodri here. He's going to get that DRS. does sneak through, and Jetju trying to hang on as well. Checking with these other battles. Carson trying to fend off, say, Spider-Man. He's trying to get a move done on Sam. Alright, back to the midfield battle. These guys all fighting for P4. I'm getting a lot of audio clipping at the moment. Just somebody having a connection issue, just kind of bogging things down right now. I will say the cars do look good on the track, though. I don't see any real issues with the guys racing wheel to wheel. So I think we're ready to fire it up. See what the feedback is in the chat after, but this is the best I've seen it. I don't know if I'm imagining things. Maybe I'm just being wishful or optimistic, but that doesn't really sound like me. I'm usually a pessimist. At the very least, realist. Wow, sneaky move there from that Mercedes. Who was that? Spider-Man trying to sneak through. There's nothing on there. And Sam and Say back at it as we head into Eau Rouge, up through Radion. Down the Kemmel Straight. Say, oh, Say, that controller drift got him. He's gonna need to buy a new controller. Start a GoFundMe. Get yourself a new controller, my friend. Need you out here with good equipment. Yeah, he's just retired on track. He's had enough. And I don't really blame him at this point. Like, I mean, you can't compete when the game just when the controller just robs you of your ability to race. Like, it just, forces a spin in a spot where he was competing. So, understandable. Hoop having a good little run here in his first race with us. Our first semi-official race with us. I mean, he kind of did the pre-testing and pre-season testing and stuff like that. But out here, racing wheel to wheel with Jetju. There's some pressure on him. These guys on mediums definitely got to think about pitting now. I think they're kind of hoping for a safety car, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. Looks like Gord has pit. Adri's going to inherit the lead here. And Rex on fresh tires putting that pressure on Adri. So this is kind of where I want to be at this point. I think Adri on the old tires, trying to fend off Rex on those fresh tires. I mean, based on my knowledge of previous seasons, I would say that Adri really doesn't have much of a chance here. Rex is a very, very formidable driver. But it'd be nice to see if Adri can give him a tough run here and try to hang on. He's lost it on the penalty already, so again, Adri could easily finish P2 here, and it'll be a pretty solid result for his first race back. LaRodri as well. He's in position to go P3. I think he is good. He has pit. Jetju behind, who is applying pressure, does need to pit, so that's not much of a concern. LaRodri actually on for a podium, I would say, on merit here. I suppose if there's a safety car, pitting would be pretty tempting, but if there's no safety car, I can't see him coming in. Get back to the front. Rex now closing in on Adri. Adri, you can see, just really struggling for the grip right now. It's pretty much a done deal that Rex is going to get by. Alright, DRS for Rex, going to get him into La Source. Probably not a great place, he'll give Adri another run. I'd imagine the next straight, the Kemmel Straight, would be a better place for him to do it. I think RC What happened to RC? Is that a moment, I believe? Dropping down the order. Oh, Rex ran really wide there. Surprised he didn't get a straight corner cut for that. Definitely a warning at minimum. Really wide. Adri goes into the defense mode, but Rex just hangs it on the outside and has the grip to get it done. Adri really, it wasn't opening the door for him by any means. He's thinking about having a look down the inside, but I don't think that's on. Imagine Adri just picked up the game today, probably lacking the confidence to actually send it in a corner like that. Maybe a different story if it counted, but actually, I suppose it would be better in an exhibition to just send it, wouldn't it? Gord. This audio clipping issue. I'm going to pause this for a second, see if that helps. So Gord, I think Jetju may have let him through, so Gord is through. He's on fresh softs. LaRodri's podium hopes absolutely dashed at this point. When did Gord pit? Must have just pit. LaRodri's up 8 spots. I mean, that's a pretty good result, regardless of if he can hang on to this podium or not. Check those tires again. Gadri definitely going to try to go to the end, but he's got Gord will be a problem. Gord is going to get through here on LaRodri. Should just scamper away, and Adri will now be under pressure. Adri could easily bring home a third. I don't think there'd be much pressure from anyone else behind. That's everyone else on old tires. But Gord on the 2-lap old softs, a serious threat. I mean, Gord really even could be a threat to win this thing. He started on the mediums, I guess, and just went long, eh? So those guys on mediums that didn't pit, maybe that was what they were waiting for. Interesting strategy. That'll be something to remember during the season. I'm sure we'll be racing Spa. Jenna, what happened to you? Oh, yeah, somebody had a moment in front of you and you just went evasive and I think ended up probably losing control of the car. Yeah, say you gotta grab a new pad, man. That's not gonna work at all. You can't take your chances with that. Just go get a new one tomorrow. It's not even... Yeah, I could tell from here, once you told me, it was like, okay, this is pretty obvious that is what's happening. I could see you, like, fighting the steering. To me, at that point, that's like, game over, get a new controller. I've had it where, you know, you get a pad where you're like, no, I can make it work for a bit, but now it's to the point where it's just not working anymore. Here comes Carson. Yeah, Gord is I think Gord could win this thing. He is in a really good spot. Those softs have to go another 6 laps, which might be a tall order. It's going to be tough. I think he's really going to drop off in the next few laps, but if he can make hay in the next 2 to 3 laps, he could be in a good spot. Spider-Man's out. I believe that was a pit lane retirement. And Carson through. Sam left behind. LaRodri now, hanging on to P4. See if Carson can catch LaRodri. He's got 6 laps. I could see Carson catching him. I think LaRodri just ran a really smart, strategic race. I'm not sure he really has that like outright pace that he belongs at the front there. I was thinking earlier during quali, it was probably tier 2 pace, like probably like a good probably like top 6 tier 2 guy, but not quick enough to do any damage in tier 1. So we'll see. I mean, it depends how like Carson's just eating the time right now, chewing up that interval. And Gord has caught up to Adri pretty quickly here. So he should be just in that DRS range by the time they hit the Kemmel straight. Now he's already in DRS, so he's going to get a nice tow here. It should be pretty much a done deal by the end of Kemmel. I don't think he got the DRS, though. He missed the detection point. Either way, let's see. So Adri, I've noticed, has skipped around on the screen a few times. Mind you, he's in the UK, so it's a rough connection. But I would say it's fairly stable given how far away he is from most of these guys. I don't think it's too bad to like go ahead and kick the season off. I think for the most part, like 98% of our guys are gonna be racing pretty stable. Here comes Gord on the outside. Adri squeezing, trying to close that door, and Gord backs out of it. He lifts, knowing Adri probably wasn't going to give him too much room there. He's got plenty of time to get this move done. So not a bad idea to just get out of that one. Adri parked the car perfectly. Does a good job defending there. And this is by far our best battle on track. Nothing really close otherwise, so we will stick with this. See Adri with a little skip there again. You can just see the car not quite showing where it is, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Gord is seeing the same thing I am. I know that last week the drivers were saying no, they didn't see the things I saw. But nonetheless, looking pretty solid. Gord down the inside. He's had enough. Yeah. Good on the brakes. Squeezes Adri to the side there, similar to what he did on the Kemmel Street, so it's all fair in my opinion. I don't think anything... It wouldn't even get a steward report. Even if it did, it would be laughed off. So Gord through. He's... 4.5 laps to make up 3.6 seconds on fresh softs. See, here's the thing. If Gord can get ahead of Rex and get in front, I think he can hang on and win it, even though those tires are going to fall off the cliff. But he has to use the grip he has right now to close that gap. I think by the end of this lap, he needs to be about 2 seconds behind. And then I think he's got a shot. And this should be the sector where he can make up a lot more time. So LaRodri hanging on to P4. Carson not really closing the gap as much as I thought. It looked like he was eating a lot of time at first, but about a lap and a half later, he's only really taken about 8 to 9 tenths out of them. So LaRodri actually might not be in a bad spot to hang on for P4. And Rex might have this covered. Gord's not doing enough damage, in my opinion, right now to close that gap by the end of the race. And I imagine he's going to be dealing with some serious tire drop-off in the next lap or two. I mean, you gotta like break in the controller, I guess, but you better start now because the other one's garbage, man. You can't even drive straight down, you know, like you can't drive the car straight. It's time to bust out the new one. Just Gord 3 seconds behind now. Right on board with Gord. Oh, he's eating a lot of time out of Rex there. So 2.5 behind now. We're gonna let's do the famous Arabiga on board ride. We got another half lap here. Let's go. We'll take all the junk off the screen. We're gonna ride on board, listen to the car, listen to Gord work as he tries to close the gap to Rex. So Gord now has the gap down to 1.5. I was going to say during that little on-board lap, you could really see Rex's car getting closer and closer to Gord. Done a really good job eating that gap down. He's got about 2.5 laps to get the move done. He's going to be in DRS range shortly. So he keeps it clean here. He's going to have plenty of chances to get this done. Jetju closing up on Hoop at the back. He's carrying a penalty, so Hoop still will have the position, but there is an overtake on track coming potentially. Gord now in the DRS range of Rex. He's mighty close. Carson now in the DRS range of LaRodri. So interesting how those two have both really closed the gap down in the last few laps. And I wonder if that comes down to setup. Is it driving style? Is it managing of the battery, perhaps? But they both have a really, really good shot at an overtake here. Gord for the lead with a lap and a half to go. He's close. Can he send it? He's got the grip. He knows he's got the grip, but Rex parks it on the racing line. Closes the door. Gord knows he has a bit more time to get that move done. Doesn't need to do anything desperate. Carson now has a chance on LaRodri. This should be a done deal. No question about it. Just faster. Carson sails through. LaRodri tucks in behind. Gord now pressing for the lead. Jetju and Hoop side by side. Hoop trying to hang on. He's got the inside line and loses it to Jetju. So Jetju does get that move done. Nice defense from Hoop though. Did a solid job trying to get Jetju to back out of that, but was never going to stay in front once Jetju had that line. And here comes Gord. Gord now, as we approach the final lap of the race, Gord 2/10 behind Rex. Now he's backed off a little bit here. I think he's done that on purpose. He does not want to give Rex the slipstream down the Kemmel Straight. He wants to make sure he has DRS down the Kemmel Straight. But as he backed off too much, he's almost lost the gap he needs. He's 8/10 behind. He's just a little clumsy through the bus stop there. Rex maybe has caught out Gord here playing a little mind game. I don't know if Gord's close enough. I don't know if he's close enough. He's 5/10 behind as we enter the DRS zone. Absolutely flying, but I think Rex has him here. Has Rex won the chess match? For the moment, it looks like he has. Now, Gord's going to have to find a really, I suppose, into the bus stop is the only place he's really going to get it. If he lines it up right, he could get him there, but there's no DRS. Oh, and Gord runs wide and picks up a penalty. Oh, that's it. Gord now. It's over for Gord. That has to be absolutely soul-crushing. I think he tried to play possum a little bit through the bus stop, and it cost him a little too much time. He just wasn't there. And Rex had that few extra tenths he needed down the Kemmel Straight, and he was able to hang on. Yeah, it's going to be tight going in the final turn here, but Gord, with that penalty, it's a done deal now. I mean, for the sake of entertainment, I wouldn't mind seeing it moved out on track, but it's not going to happen. So Gord, unfortunately, will finish P2 here. Adri does a really smart race there and finishes P3. And then we got Carson and LaRodri to round out your top 5. So LaRodri crosses the line. Oh, picks up P4 because Carson's got penalties. And Sam, P6. Asylum bringing it home in 7th. Hoop's going to bring it home 8th. And RC will finish the race. Not the greatest showing for RC, but we looked competitive in qualifying and at the start of the race. Just kind of bad luck there, getting caught up in all that melee at the start of the race. And that is it for our exhibition race for Season 10. Things look good to me. For the most part, I'm going to get some feedback in the chat after this race. We'll make an executive decision, but watch for us Monday night. At the very least, we'll probably have an exhibition run, the minimum Monday night. So keep an eye on the channel. Make sure you subscribe, get those notifications on, and we'll be back Monday at 8 p.m., possibly with the start of Season 10. Rex wins it. Gord comes home B2. Adri 3rd. Laradri 4th. Carson 5th. Sam 6th. Asylum 7th. Hoop 8th. RC 9th. And those are all the finishing cars. Jet Jew finishes 10th. Plus 1 lap, so he'll get a point. And Spider-Man, Say, Janet, Toblerone, Lunar, Quaminator, Vinny, all DNF. And that is it for the exhibition race. Yeah, it is a lot of DNF. You know, we lost 3 guys on the first lap. It was weird. There was contact into La Source in turn 1, and then on the exit, one of the guys was in a weird spot where he was behind another car that wasn't going very fast. And there was a couple cars beside him, and I think he lifted or braked to try and... I think he was worried about where he was as they were heading into Eau Rouge, and basically what happened is, like, 3 cars ended up coming together, and 2 of them ended up in the wall. Actually, I think 3 of them ended up in the wall. We also lost 2 right on the grid. So we have the immersive formation lap, and 2 of the guys didn't park their cars properly, and they got disqualified from the entire race. So that's a weird issue. Like, that's something we cannot carry forward going into the season. It's ridiculous. Like, all that effort to get into the race and then to lose it, like, snap of your fingers because you parked the car slightly wrong. Like, that's stupid. So we're going to take that. We'll take that off, and we'll make sure everybody can start the race on equal. Yeah, it's stupid. That's a really dumb way. Like, you get disqualified from the formation lap because you make a mistake, that's fine, but once the race actually starts, like, yeah, I think that's ridiculous. So, anyways, Monday night, we'll get things fired up, we'll get things rolling. Should be the start of Season 10, if not, it'll be exhibition, and we'll start the week after, but the lobby looked pretty good to me. I think we're ready to go here, so we'll see you then. Me and GP, hopefully, on the call. If not, I'll be there, but, yeah, Monday night, 8 p.m., Season 10 kicks off Tier 1, and then Wednesday, Tier 2 will get things kicked off, 8 p.m. Eastern. And we'll see you then.